Hey, what's going on, YouTubians? This is my first time doing I guess, a talk through of the first lap of the 2022 Tiger Run GNCC. So I'll be talking about a little bit about the first lap and some other shit. So sit back and enjoy. This is the start of the race. I almost pull off a hole shot here, so let's begin the video. So we get the 10-second call. I'm off. All of a sudden I thought I was out in front. This guy kicks into the left, but I'm charging in that first line. I'm with that corner. So at that corner, I'm kind of like, damn it, he's taking off. But man, I almost have my head down. I'm sliding. I stall it. I restart. I'm in third place. Oh well, I just want to try to get the whole shot this year. I know I'm not going to beat a lot of these guys. I think that was Dave passing by. A buddy of mine, Scott, my class. He's probably right on my ass. Here I'm probably falling into what, sixth place. Finished 8th overall. First lap I finished 10th. I couldn't get in the rhythm there. I dropped into maybe 7th. Scott's still probably behind me. I don't know why he hasn't passed me yet. He probably should be. Maybe sooner or later. I know he does pass me. He ends up in 4th, I think. But track was in great condition. A little dusty in the open parts, but otherwise it was just kind of a backwards version, a little bit of buck run. So, but it was nice. Take this little inside, see this guy kind of putting. I think he's in another class. If you've never raced GNCC, you really don't know, what position you're in unless you kind of keep track where you're at. But I kind of lose track because a lot of people end up passing me here. We have probably 8 more lines behind me coming, and so I'm trying to catch up to somebody, whoever that is in front of me. I'm just trying to grab onto somebody's tail end and watch them, but I'm slowly fading. Sorry about the cable. I did not realize that until after I stuck it on. The stupid AMA rules. There goes Scott. There he goes. Don't know why he took so long to pass me, but he ended up zipping by me. So now I'm probably back in 8th. At this point, we bypassed the finish line, which is right there to your left. So we're going to do probably just a little over 12 miles maybe this first lap. Different class. And every time I went under these stupid pine trees, I don't know why. Should have taken me outside. A lot of this first part of the track just kind of winds around the fields area of Big Buck. So you have a lot of pit areas. There goes an old Husker Barney passing me. He's in my class. So I think I'm eventually back into 10th place right now. So, like I said, once you see an old Husker Barney pass you, you know you're in for a long day. So I thought maybe I'd keep up on his tail, but he's pushing. See, in this area, it got kind of dusty. It was real bad with the four-wheelers yesterday. This guy, I should have made the pass, but he's not in my class. Not really worried about it, so I make a pass there. I knew a little bit of the track, but I don't walk it and ride it. I walk some sections and stuff, and mainly just around the camp. I'm sure we'll be coming up too soon. Like I said, everything. This was wet. This section coming up here when we first walked it on Friday. But the four-wheelers dried it all up. Right through here, you can kind of see. Some parts in the shade maybe were a little muddy and stuff, but didn't really have too much mud, which was good coming off of Georgia, which was a mud fest. There goes somebody passing me. Not in my class. I knew the other guys were coming up, the other classes. Trail rider, 50. I forget what's all behind me. Another guy riding with Michael Hall will come up behind me, past me. Brian Coops, I think, is behind me. If anybody races, just kind of, you know, for me, it's just kind of getting back into racing. First lap, just kind of learning what, right there was the first mile marker. And back there was our camp. Sorry. This is a little tight section right here, kind of rocks, some roots. I knew this section pretty well. We walked this. I didn't take the best of lines. I know a lot of people are going to be passing, so I kind of stay to the right. Kind of let people pass on the left when they can. And maybe I'll jump on somebody's tail and, like I said, try to hold with them. I thought this was Michael Hall, but it's not. I'm yelling at him, thinking it was him, but there's some other people. Just say another guy. But I'm trudging through, you know, doing my pace, middle of my pack. I think there was 15 riders. So right now I'm back in 10th. And with 2-hour racing, you know, it's, you don't have to go out, there goes, I think Corey King right there. He was 2 rows behind me, I think in a split row, 2 rows. So he's finally catching up to me. Michael Hall said he'd pass me in the first mile, but he did not get me in this first mile. He should be coming up soon. I don't think that was him. I think he passes me here sooner or later. But yeah, we're not really into the heart of things yet. This is kind of just weaving around the outer part of the, ooh, right here I get blasted with a big rock by that guy. Hits up on the front part of my, I think right up on my, below my handlebars. But yeah, this just kind of sweeps around the outer part of the fields, kind of like pitting areas if anybody needs them. Now we kind of make a right turn. Now we're going to kind of get into the belly of Tiger Run. Like I said, it was more of a fast track, you know, for people that ride it fast. Me, it was kind of nice track. I like it. Nothing real hard. A couple hill climbs. A couple of hill climbs I had to go around because people were stuck on them, so I had to use the bypass. Last lap, I was able to hit them. Still just cruising along. This gets into a real, back here behind our camp coming up, gets into a nice little tight section, a little rocky. It's definitely not rocky like Snowshoe, Mountaineer. Those really beat me up last year. This is just a red clay, kind of rutted out. I'd really like to race it sometime when there's, you know, if bikes go out the first day, then four-wheelers, so you don't have so many, you know, when they're in these muddy areas, they kind of put these little rut areas, you know, little grooves, and I'd like to just ride it sometime when there's not, but there's somebody make it. All right, there, I think. Now, right here, I think that's Michael Hall making the pass on me. So that was at about 2 miles. So I was moving. He starts behind me a lot of times. I know at Georgia he caught me within the first mile, but it was a mud race, and I wasn't, it just kind of beat me up. Mud, you know, if you race mud, especially down here, it just sticks to your bike and makes it heavier. And a lot more foot action and stuff, so Georgia kind of beat me up a little bit. Like I said, I'm pushing for my age, 54. I rode a lot when I was younger. Right here, I let a big group of people pass. I try not to stop. I'll try to, it was just a tight tree section, and I just knew it was probably a good place to let them pass. I walked this section over here too, so I kind of knew it. And I'd rather just slow down and let people pass than, you know, make a complete stop. But some areas, you know, I'm nice about it. If you come up, holler at me, let me know you're there. I'll let you slide over when I can. Here it gets into a nice little rocky section. I believe this is it coming up. Tight in there. Trees. The tree roots are starting to show. That's the thing with the four-wheelers. They come in these new sections and they just blow off the top dirt. Now I knew this section up here because I walked it. I knew it was faster if I probably rode it, but I was letting those guys pass, so I just kind of dropped in. There's a couple guys behind me. I remember this was kind of a bad line right here. Coming up, I was letting some people pass, and I kind of take the rider side and whoop, between those two trees. Luck that didn't go down. Here's some guys I have, you know, so I like to try to keep up with some of these. A lot of times, you know, a lot of times when you're out by yourself, it's hard to tell if you're really going fast until maybe you start passing people or people start passing you, and then you can start telling how fast you're really going. And so like I said, sometimes I like to ride by myself. Sometimes it's fun to try to hook up with somebody. I think my second lap, I'll probably just post it as a raw video. But I hooked up with this one guy. I followed him probably 3-4 miles, and we were probably running the same pace, but I could just watch him, you know, make his lines and stuff and just kind of read off what he was doing. So sometimes it's better to have somebody in front of you, and especially like deep mud holes and stuff like that. Let the sucker go on first, and then they get stuck. You go, well, I'm gonna go around this way. That was a good accident right there. Those two were hauling. I think it was a girl pro rider maybe, and I know they were kind of moving, so they just must have tangled up somehow. I heard Archer, she didn't have a very good race here. I think she busted up a back sprocket. So we get more of the back line starting to come up. This was one of the first big hill climbs, I think, coming up here, and I couldn't see, and I think there was somebody stuck at the up at the top. There's some, oh, maybe that's not, this is the 3 mile mark. But there was sun in my face and stuff like that, so I started to see some people jet off to the right, so I was like, screw it, we'll go around it. Should be coming up here soon. Because I know there was a sun-facing hill climb. It's kind of tough when you're at the bottom, so people are down there looking, and you can always tell in these GNCC races when there's stuff coming up, because you know there's a bunch of people sitting there watching, you know. You're like, all right, this is something good, because people are going to sit here and watch it. Back here, I mean, these straight sections and stuff, you may see people once in a while, but you know, everybody kind of gathers around either start, finish, and then they kind of move, you know, to either a finish area or out into the hill climbs or something that's, you know, good spectator watching areas. And 12 miles of this track, not everything's good spectator. Here's a first kind of muddy section, but with the bikes, it's easier to go up around them. Oh, here's actually one of the first hill climbs, pretty good. It was a long hill climb. I took the right side. Like I said, I stick to the right side a lot of times. Said faster people. Didn't hear anybody coming. So I kind of just switched over, got back on it. riding this little upper ridge. I always slow down. These ruts just kill me. I'm not a good rut rider. You know, especially on the straights, they seem easy, but man, you just turn a little bit and the front tire catches something and you just go down. So, like I said, I just kind of pace myself, and I was starting to feel a little cramping in my hands coming on this downhill right here. So I was standing up a lot more in this race. I was trying to get some pressure off my left hand, especially. Old age, arthritis is creeping up, so I was trying to grip a little more with my knees. I'm dropping into a little, like that right there, a little deep mud hole. Pretty area though. Coming into a section, I see her stopped. I think somebody was stopped up on this little hill right here. It's kind of tricky as you drop into a little mud hole section, and then, you know, you got your ruts going across it. And if you cross rut, you're definitely going to go down. And then up the other side, it wasn't a bad hill. There was another hill that was a little bit steeper and longer that got really glassy by the third laps. And it wasn't hard. It was just, you know, you just kept your momentum, or otherwise you could make a mistake. So now we're just kind of cruising down in the lower kind of basin area, I guess, of the track. Here it was with the sun. I couldn't tell what was going on. Some people were going up. So I kind of took off to the right side. Nice little hill climb, but there was somebody stuck on the left-hand side. So, I don't know. But it didn't look like too bad of a hill climb. I think I hit it in my third lap. Sometimes I'm just watching arrows and, you know, you just kind of go where the arrows are pointed, and boom, all of a sudden big hill's in front of you. Just kind of downshift, crank it, and go. Me being on a 125 X, if nobody knows what I'm riding at 21, 125 X, YZ. And you definitely got to keep on the RPMs. So this was an area where the quads definitely kind of rutted it out. And you can see a lot of times the bikes just kind of edge it, go on the edge of everything. Right there, I kind of cut out that little berm. Notice a lot of people were down this first lap. There's a lot of people over to the sides. I might have been one of the guys in our group. No, because this is the first lap, so I finished. Yeah, you see right there how rutted out that got. Four-wheelers, and just the top layer right here, you can see how much other roots are showing. This hill right here, this is a good little hill climb. This one got really kind of shiny. You can see now it's already kind of shiny right there. And that guy in front of me, he was kind of going back and forth. So I still have a train of people kind of flowing behind me. Like I said, I give them space and let them run. You see a lot of people pulled over, go in the bathroom, resting, you know. You get 2 hours, gives you a long time to go out and race how you want. Brian Eccles puts on, man, that, I'll tell you what, after second, third lap, that just got gnarly down at the bottom for some reason. It's got kind of like an under dip kind of thing, just kind of doosh, hit on it. But Brian Eccles normally plays some pretty good tracks, and it's hard, you know, he designs tracks before the weather comes, and weather hits, it's kind of hard to, you know, change things up and stuff, but they do a pretty good job of hill climbs and stuff, putting side paths and stuff like that to make it fair for all racers out there. So he really makes nice setups, I think. You can see right here how roots are just showing, so that gets to be a little more, a little rougher. I need to get some shock work done. Everybody's telling me to get shock work done, I know it makes a difference, but, you know, a lot of money. But see, so a lot of times I don't make the best line choices. I mean, hell, those guys would have passed me anyways, but like I said, I kind of stick to the right side, so sometimes I'm taking a longer route, and sometimes they cut off a shorter route. Sometimes I take a shorter route than a longer route. But, you know, it is what it is. But first lap, like I said, I'm learning it. I don't have an e-bike to go out there and ride doing 12 miles like a lot of these people have. And so if anybody wants to donate me a e-bike, it'd be fun to go out and ride these. You can get a hold of me at any race. I will be at Camp Coker if all is willing. So right here, nothing special, just kind of straight shot, you know, South Carolina red clay, roots, some rocks, nice riding. I think I'm going to have a pro come up and pass me here sooner or later. You can definitely hear when those girls come up on those bikes, man, they're just long. They're really deep. You can definitely tell it's, you know, not a stock production bike that most everybody out here is riding. It's a little beefier. So we just passed 5 mile mark. So I'm still rolling a good pace. Like I said, I think I knocked 4 or 5 minutes off on my second lap, well, discluding the mile or half mile we had from the start to the finish area. So but yeah, there was an older, I don't know what that was, Honda maybe passing me. But yeah, so I knocked my laps. My last lap was bad. I ran out of gas and was going up this hill, and I had to kick it on reserve, and I didn't get it quick enough, so I was stuck on kind of on a hillside and had to push it down and then get it started in reserve and then finish out the last lap. So it was a little bit longer, and plus I was a little bit tired at that point, but I was cruising. Second lap, I was buddy I raced with, Brian Koontz, suggested some Pedialyte, adult Pedialyte, and I drank that. He got me some, and I drank that in the morning. And I tell you, it about kicked in about the last part of this lap and second lap. And then third lap, like I said, I was just kind of, you know, old body kicking in and things like that. But I didn't cramp up as bad. I felt some cramps started coming, but they kind of dissipated. So physically, I felt this was probably one of the better races I had this year. You know, misshifted right there. I got to change my clutch lever, foot clutch lever. It's too low with these boots. I can't get having bad ankles. It's hard to get that toe up underneath. So I always hit that neutral. And then when you want to put it in the neutral, you can never put it in the neutral. So if you never raced a wood race, you can really tell this is, you know, depends how fast you're going and stuff, can be dangerous because these trees do not move unless you're lucky to hit a dead one. So you're racing against, a lot of times, yourself, obviously other people, the environment. And most of the time, I'm not racing against people. You know I'm not going to win my class. Like I said, I'd like to win a whole shot one time. You know, that's probably the best I got against these guys with electric starts and bigger bikes. And, you know, and then just kind of keep improving just on myself physically, you know, coming off the prostate cancer and just the condition my body's in at my age, you know, destroying it back when I was younger with all the activities I used to do, motorcycle racing, riding. There was a 6 mile marker, surfing, skating, biking, you name it. Living in California, we did it all. So, and like I said, then I had a big gap of riding motorcycles. Kids growing up, I got really involved with volleyball with my oldest daughter, about 6 years there. You know, so I had a bike and stuff. They've ridden with 4-wheelers. They've always had 4-wheelers and trail riding and stuff. But I just kind of got out of racing. And then, like I said, my daughter wanted to get back into it a couple years ago when I got prostate cancer. And then, so that kind of put us back into it. And then I just couldn't sit on the sidelines anymore watching. So I just had to get back into it. It's great. I mean, you meet awesome people. You know, guys I ride with are great. Just anybody you'd meet on the side willing to help you, you know, get your bike back up, get you back in the game. You know, they don't want to see you out of the race. They want to see you in the race, so they can kick your ass. So, you know, here I just take this side trail right here too. I like taking some of these side trails. They're not beaten down as much, and they'll kind of give you a little break, you know. You can tell people have ridden them on bikes several times, on e-bikes, and you know, you show up on a Thursday evening, the track's already built, you get some time Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you get 3 days riding, you know, an e-bike through this thing. You could do shit at least twice a day, maybe, depending on those things. You can really get your lines point out, you know, and what you want to take. And you're not always going to take your lines because, you know, sometimes people are down, but at least you know there's a side option. Like this long line I took, I didn't know if I was even staying in track or not, you know, with the 25-foot rule, you know, but I figured it probably would have met up. So eventually did, but it was a nice little single track right there, and I kind of met up with the guy again. I don't think I was 25 feet off, but if I was, I'm sorry. I didn't get a plaque, so I got nothing really to get back. But yeah, I don't believe I was off. It was inside the lines and everything else. So. Sorry. Where are we at? 27 minutes on this race. So I think this first lap was a 40-minute race. It was not good. I'm going to try to get down in the 30s. I'd like to hopefully get a 4-lapper one of these days. I did 3 the first race, 2 in Georgia, which was just a mud fest. Most of the guys in my 50-year-old group did 2 laps. It took forever just to get those laps in. I didn't race Florida. Missed Florida. Got sick. Like I said, jumped back into Georgia. And then South Carolina, I got 3. But like I said, I was pushing for 4. I was kind of disappointed in my 3rd lap when I saw or my 2nd lap when I saw the white flag come out. Because I thought I was moving. I thought I was in good pace. But, oh well. Something more to strive for this year. It's kind of nothing exciting, wide open, little fast section. If you like a hard enduro, this is definitely not a hard enduro track. It's probably more of a longer sprint enduro type. Like I said, they had a couple hill climbs, no really bad mud sections. Like I saw people getting stuck down in Georgia. That was pretty funny right there, man. There was a little water creek crossing. I kept hitting this except for the 3rd lap. I went over the left side, but first 2 laps, I kept going in that first stupid little rut right there. Most times when you come up for that, you just start looking left or right, and you're going to start seeing lines that people are taking. Here's some people coming, so I'm thinking, okay, what's going on? Got to be a hill climb. Little hill climb. I got a cool picture on one of these hill climbs that come up. I do a wheelie because it kind of just, yeah, it's a longer hill climb right here. A little chunky. 2-stroker going. I hear somebody behind me. Yep. Makes it pass. It's funny how you can remember this. Like when I used to play golf, I used to remember you know, about every shot I had, just, you know, every putt, the mistakes. Cleaning off the screen. Yeah, it would have actually been a good shot. That stupid brake cable wasn't coming across it. I'm sorry. So I get some more people passing. Maybe, you know, I'm 7-8 miles in, so the first couple lines, 3-4 lines, maybe making their second lap already. Yeah, some of these look like faster rider maybe. You know, you got to watch for people falling. It's just a lot of elements out there you got to watch for. Race last year, so one of our local races, a guy hit a deer crossing. You know, here's another little water crossing. Nothing bad. You know, this could have really been bad if it was a rainy, muddy day. I'm sure this track could get nasty. But lucky for us, we had a break. Hopefully Camp Coker is going to be looking nice. I'll be ready for that race. Not sure I'm going to do a local this weekend coming up. I think this guy passed me earlier, so I was like, hell, go in front of me. Since you don't have to pass me again. Now, if he's, you know, rides slow and stuff, and I'll eventually pass him, but most likely he passed me earlier. So he was probably just taking another 5 minutes. A lot of people do that. You see them going out and just pushing hard that first lap. You know, I guess if your body and bike is able to handle that, that's good. But like I said, for me, you know, once I get it out of that first mile or two, I like to kind of settle back and kind of race my, you know, my pace. I believe this is the guy that followed for a while. I believe it was the second one, because him and I were cruising. Oh, this is the guy I think I let out that I'm going to have to pass. So maybe I did make a mistake. He's running about the same pace, so we're about 8 miles, so 3-4 miles out of there. I think I saw a little piece of paper that said 12th mile somewhere in one time. Right here, this guy pad. Then watch this pro girl comes flying up. I could hear her, and then she comes up, and he kind of just hangs out in front and doesn't let her pass, and she'll be cranking the engine on him. There she goes, right there. Wow! I tell you what, those girls fly. So I try to keep up on her, you know. You learn from them. Hell, she's fast. Might as well try to get up on her and learn. See what she's doing. But this guy wasn't moving, man. She was revving several times. I'm like, come on, dude. Let her by, you know. But he kind of just stayed in front of her. And now, anytime those girls come, man, I'm hopping out of the way. Those girls are racing for a lot more than what I'm racing for, so I don't want to end up, you know, being a cause of a wreck or something, you know, intentionally or not intentionally. Most time it'd be non-intentional, but just saying, you know, that's just bad news. And like Archer's bike, somebody hit her from behind and messed up her sprocket. My daughter showed me a picture, but yeah, I'd just hate to be the one that messes up her race. Still got those idiots out there that wreck everybody else's race. So now we're trickling back up into around the campsite. area, the field. Yeah, some of these courses we race out are definitely getting blown out. Just the trails that they've used over the years and stuff. Hopefully GNCC will start looking for new places to ride. But I know it's tough to probably find the acreage that they need to get it. It's just a little tight section. These guys are up here. So I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to hold on to anybody I could. Alright, so I make a couple passes. And probably not my, I'm not going for an overall status. You see people kind of meandering in the woods and stuff. You know, you're getting close to, there's 9 miles. Getting close to a populated area. This is a new little section they put in for us. You can see the 4-wheelers cut down there. And they put this kind of little single track area right in here for us. It looked like a new little section. I'd like it for them. It'd be cool if they did a lot more of those, you know, off to the side or somewhere. A little more single track, little tight enduro type sections. So you see most of the day, I mean, it's not like we had a lot of people. You know, I mean, there's still a lot of bikes, but they said the numbers were down, you know, compared to the first race, where Big Buck was just, you know, people left and right. You know, this one, I had a lot of time. I had a good bit of time by myself, and then, you know, a good bit of time I'm letting riders, you know, pass me and stuff. And I know by this far into the race, you're going to have the guys going into their second, third lap, so, you know, I'm not going to hold them up. I'm not obviously on lead lap pace, so I got to be respectful to all the riders behind me coming up past me, unless you're in a group. Another pro rider, I think, right there passed me. I heard her coming. And I knew we were going into this little tight area right here, so I guess they could cheat like that and have a friend rider go out there and just slow up a leader in your group, and you know, every time they come around, just kind of jump in front of them and dog them, slow them up in certain sections. It'd be mean to do, but it's a cool little section. I don't think it was ridden by 4-wheelers and stuff, because you can see it was kind of more single track bike stuff. Did I make a pass? Or I made a pass there? They'll probably come back and pass me. I remember that section. It was tough because hard to know exactly where you're going. I don't think the 4-wheelers rode that area, so it was kind of single path and it was kind of not well ridden on yet. Right there, man. Those things get me all the time. I should just fly and just wheelie across them or something. But look, slows down, gets into them. Mom. I appreciate anybody that's still around listening to this, and if you like what I'm doing, I may try more of this stuff. I will be posting the other 2 laps. Got a couple of crashes on it and stuff, and I'll hopefully get those posted, and I'll also be getting out youth and adult and pro ATV videos. I didn't get much of the youth bikes, I'm sorry, and pro bikes I didn't get much of. We had to get out of there.
What?
That was nice of somebody pointing out a line. Somebody was stuck up on the hill, so I took the sideline. Sometimes you need to watch out with kids pulling lines because somebody was stuck up on top, I think. So I think Adam McGill learned that at Georgia. I think it was. Georgia, South Carolina. I forget. But anyways, somebody pointed out some bad lines. But anyways, you definitely don't want, definitely want to make your own decisions a lot of time if you know the track and not listen to them. But in cases like that, when somebody's down, sometimes it's good to, make the decision. Most of the time, a young girl like that probably won't make that. So it's teenagers. Them drunken teenagers, let me tell you. Here's some wild stories. I mean, hell, you were out here and there may be nobody for miles, a couple miles from you. Hell, you can do anything you want out there. So I said that'd be uncool. Not like I was ever a teenager myself, But yeah, I mean, just to do something like that. I've heard people, you see it down in snowshoeing and shit. People throwing bottles and stuff at riders, or just stupid shit. It's ridiculous. I know they get money for spectators coming, but, start wrecking these properties and things, nobody's going to want us back, and kind of wrecks it for the riders, so it might have to be just riders and families. Leave all the spectators at home. And this is really a hard spectating sport. I mean, most of the time, if you get lucky, you may be able to see a couple sections, just because they're close to each other. But if you don't, otherwise, you basically get to see somebody for maybe 5 seconds coming, hey, how you doing, bud? And then they go by you. So it's not like motocross where you can sit there and watch everybody, or outdoors, or something like that. It's like my daughter, once she leaves, she's out there, just relying on her riding skills and other spectators and other people to help her go through the race. And they do a great job. I'm not saying they're bad. It's just saying it's just not really a spectator sport. There's people out there who see for that quick of time. But it's still fun to watch. I enjoy go out and watch, especially certain areas where you get a lot of the accidents and things like that that's happening. So we're probably getting close to the end. Like I said, I appreciate everybody watching. This kind of the section, I think, was right there from the start. I think we might be moving towards the finish line. Those got to be getting close. Right there to the right, actually right here to the left would have been the start. Because to the right, I think, was Pro Hill. So we would have jumped onto the track about right up in here somewhere. Or no, this is actually the finish. Pro line's by the finish. Sorry, excuse me. Well, they're tree lined apart from each other, so. Now you can see it starts opening. Another thing I gotta do is get a watch. Start watching my lap times. Maybe start pushing myself, but yeah, so here we go to the finish. That was my first lap. I think I came in, I know I came in 10th place in this first lap. I finished 8th overall. I appreciate you guys watching. Share the video, like it if you like. Stay tuned for more stuff coming up. Peace out.